Welcome back to the channel, guys. So, I just beat Grandia 1 here, and I didn't think I'd be making a video on this, but I was sitting here thinking that the remaster for 1 and 2 is coming to the Switch. So why not make a quick video, share some of my thoughts about this game, along with asking some questions about the remaster. So let's just jump right into it. As a fan of RPGs and a bigger fan of the PlayStation 1, I knew I had to eventually get Grandia for the console. Now, I picked up the game right around the time that the remaster for the Switch was announced, so I reluctantly put it aside just to wait for that hopefully remastered goodness we'd get for the games. But being the impatient little shit that I am, I was all like, I gotta play this game, I have it. And so that's what I did, and I ended up playing through the whole thing, and I really enjoyed it. Well, and the story basically ends there. Well, this story, not the 55 hours I spent beating this game. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this classic like the thousands, maybe millions of people that have already made a video on this. If you're into retro games and haven't heard about Grandia yet, then you need to click away from this video and crawl back under your rock. Nope, don't do that. I'm gonna miss you guys. But let's be honest, I don't think I'll be doing this game the justice it deserves. But that's not gonna stop me from trying to. When I had started this game, I didn't think I'd be saying I had wished I'd played it years ago. When I play RPGs, I kind of go into them with the mindset that some aspects of the game are going to excel, while other parts of the game are going to lack. With Grandia, the combat and the gameplay, in my opinion, outweigh the story by far. But that's not to say the story isn't half bad. The plot, being somewhat basic and similar to most titles of the time, still manages to throw a little variety and enough variance in the characters to tell that the story wasn't just a second thought when the game was being developed. Now, the only real criticism I had on this is the awful voice acting, but it was 1999, what could we expect? We're super spoiled with a lot of the modern games we have nowadays. Which brings me to my first question. I really wonder if they're going to redo all the voice acting. And if they do, are they really going to be pulling a Secret of Mana where nobody likes it and they want to use the Japanese audio? Now, the overworld of the game is where you'll encounter your enemies, as there's no random encounters. I say this, but there are plenty of enemies to fight in an area, and in some cases, the battles can be near unavoidable. Now, let's get into gripe number 2, and that's the lack of any sort of minimap, which in some areas, it's so inconvenient. There's no indication of exploration, so on my blind playthrough, I always left an area feeling like I had missed something, no matter how long I explored. But in the grand scheme of things, it's super minor, and it didn't affect my thoughts on the game at all. So that brings me to the one thing I think they should change about the game is add a minimap. I don't think it's going to inconvenience anybody. I don't think it makes the game any easier or harder. So why not just throw that in there? Secret of Mana did a cool minimap, and it's actually the old map of the game. So I think that'd be an awesome addition. So why not? Now, battles take part on a separate field in the overworld. Turns are based on a semi-real-time timeline. Enemies can ambush you by touching you from behind, which prioritizes them in the initial battle timeline. This is definitely vice versa if you get an initiative when you started the battle. In battle, you have a wide variety of attacks and magic spells. The more you use those skills and these spells, the more you learn and progress your character. I'll get into more of the specifics later in the video, but for now, let's talk about something your attacks can do. I'll start with the combo attack, which is 2 basic hits on an enemy and slightly slows the enemy's progress on the timeline. Then there's the critical, which is a slightly stronger single hit attack that moves an enemy further back on the timeline. Depending on when you hit the enemies with either attack, it can potentially cancel or counter the enemy's attack that was in progress. This is the real basics of it. As the game progresses and skills are unlocked, the battle system's depth really grows, and in some cases, timing could be everything. So to sum it all up, the battle system is actually one of my favorites for the PS1 RPGs. But what possible complaint could I have for it? Maybe I'm picky, or maybe I'm a bit dramatic, but a lot of the animations of skills and specials sometimes are kind of lengthy and can really draw a battle out. Generally, all I want in the remaster is an updated visual and zero change to the mechanics of the battle system, but I wouldn't mind some faster animations for the skills and such. When it comes to mechanical progression, Grandia takes it a step forward and moves slightly beyond the general leveling system. Specifically, each weapon and element has its own level, and as you use your skills and basic attacks, they will gain their own experience. Leveling up each facet will allow multi-element spells and more powerful spells to be unlocked. Each character, for the most part, can learn all of the 4 elements, but not all the skills and spells are the same between each one, which is a real nice touch because it slightly makes each character more unique. Now, in order to keep Grandia for the remaster, if they change these mechanics at all, it's going to be hard to call it the same game. When it comes to Grandia, it definitely earns its place as a classic in a lot of gamers' eyes, including my own. As a classic, it really does deserve a remaster, but it doesn't deserve to be changed in a way that makes it feel like a different game. For example, I myself didn't think the remaster of Secret of Mana was terrible, but to a lot of people who grew up with the original, it was an experience for those people that was not the same that they experienced before, and it didn't feel like the same game. After playing Grandia myself, I would hate for it to turn out like this. For me, Grandia offered a well-rounded experience in story and gameplay. It definitely excelled in the combat experience, and because of that, the game never grew old. For anyone interested in the game and has not played it, know that the original holds up well and maybe shouldn't be kept in your backlog. But if you're waiting on that remaster, let's hope it holds up to all our expectations. Well, hey, once again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I inspired you in some way to pick up Grandia now or maybe later for the remaster. But before you click away, be sure to like this video, drop a comment, and most of all, subscribe. It means a lot. Thanks guys, I'll see you guys next time.